I love competition.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Regardless if it's against my brothers, against competitive players, or against complete randoms. So I enter a lot of tournaments, even though I sometimes never even know how to actually play the game. And most of the time I enter these brackets at LAN parties. The biggest one, and the one I've been attending since I was 16, being Vulcan LAN. And last year was nothing different, but one thing. They introduced the Rock-Paper-Scissor tournament. And this is the story on how I almost won the biggest RPS tournament in my country.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Bier, los!
Papier, los!
Oh!
Vulcan LAN is the biggest LAN party in Austria. Over 1,000 players, over 3 days with their own setups in a huge, stinky hall. And every year, I joined the event. Back then, for mostly Overwatch tournaments. Nowadays, I changed it to Smash tournaments. Because the legendary 3-day Smash event, JARPEX, takes place in the same big glory halls of Vulcan LAN. And not only Smash is a yearly tradition, but also me traveling to the event with my best friend, Thomas. Which is quite a surprise, because the first year he joined me at Vulcan LAN, I accidentally poured some beer over his PC, frying his motherboard on the first day. Which meant he couldn't use the computer for the rest of the event.
In retrospect, it was pretty amazing thing for me. I could upgrade my computer for free because insurance covered everything. So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, back to 2025 though. A few days before the LAN party, we always check out the website and register for different events. Not only my Smash events, but also the general LAN events. And as tradition, we just registered as a duo in the PUBG event and also the Rock-Paper-Scissor tournament. It was the second year Vulcan LAN did the RPS tournament because the first year was such a huge success. So without hesitation, I registered. It sounds fun, I thought. For Thomas though, it took some convincing to push him to press the register button because he is not quite a competitive person like I am. But I pushed him far enough and then he did. So we entered the tournament together with 100 other contestants. And the next day we immediately forgot about it. In the early morning we packed our stuff and drove to the venue, quickly ran through the reception and made our weird looking register pictures. Yeah, I only have the low resolution versions of them. So we built our setups, cracked open a cold one and began gaming. After some time, Friday concluded, and then at exactly midnight, I looked at Thomas. Didn't we forget something?
What?
You know, the tournament's already started.
Shit! Rock-Paper-Scissors tournament.
We quickly checked the website. Tournament already in progress. The RPS tournament started without us. Somebody suddenly spawned behind Thomas and tapped him on his shoulder. Let's play the tournament. And before he even realizes, Huppel is back in the RPS game. And he had a strategy. Because the rules changed this year to a more conventional approach, because in German-speaking countries, we usually don't say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, but we play rock, paper, scissors without the shoot. And this was a rule change. We now have to say rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Schere, Stein, Papier, los. So Thomas took advantage of this and demanded a test round to see if timing is okay between him and his first opponent. And there it was. He played paper for the test round. The real round began afterwards, and with that confusion, him playing paper in the test round, he picked rock in the second round, immediately countering the scissor from his opponent. And with that confusion, he took it all the way, played rock again, 2-0 for Huppel. He sealed the deal. And not even 5 minutes later, the next opponent showed up, and he played the same goddamn strategy again. Demanded a test round, played paper, defeated the guy with rock twice. And at this point, we looked at the bracket a little bit closer, and Huppel was already in top 16 because he got a TQ win in the first round of play. and I didn't. And that's why we thought I was already out of the tournament in general. So I just took my defeat and cheered for Thomas. Yes, it's normal that everybody's still up at 2 a.m. on LAN parties. It's normal. Don't ask any questions. And that's when my opponent showed up. I was shook because I didn't think I'm gonna play. But I took my opportunity and, well, still nervous, I still won 2-1. Afterwards, I walked to the TOs reporting my set, and I looked at the bracket and I got my way through the bracket already carved out for me. People were already waiting for me because I got to the tournament so late. So I went onto the journey through the whole LAN party and defeated 3 more players. And all of them were clean sweeps. And as the first contestant in this tournament, I joined top 8. And Huppel, my friend, still had 1 more round to play. And after we got some sleep, Saturday started pretty cool, pretty chill. I played my Smash tournament. I got this insane clip.
Aber der Joker Switch, der kommt nicht.
Nein, aber es kommt ein Stage-Split, das ist nämlich Hollow Bash und
Oh mein Gott.
wir gehen gleich nicht.
Das
killt!
But finally, the RPS bracket advances. Huppel's top 8 qualifier match is finally on. We went up to the guy, we greeted the guy, and immediately Huppel tried the test round strategy yet again. But the dude straight up refused to play the test round, which made it harder. But after losing the first draw, he pulled together and still won 2-1. And finally advances to top 8 of the tournament as the last contestant. At some point on Saturday, I met an old colleague and a member of my old Overwatch team, Nix. And after catching up with him a little bit, he told me that he's already prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow? I asked. Yeah, win your first match, and then I'm gonna destroy you. What? And then I looked at the bracket and I realized he was in top 8 as well, just 1 win away from me. And I would meet him in semi-finals. The day is Sunday. I was still casting Smash Bros. When I had to excuse myself and took a look at my clock, saying my goodbye to the stream and joining the RPS tournament at the TO desk. At 12 o'clock, we finally met the other top 8 contestants. And I'm pretty sure the organizers put us together a few minutes before the big show to talk about strategy, to talk about mind games, to maybe feel each other out. But one single guy didn't even show up. I digress. Let's introduce the top 8 contestants. Isaac Atlas, the brute force. Basically, my only game plan is rock, and if it doesn't work, I play something different. Huppel, the farmer, because he's consistently aura farming on stage. Look!
Wie gehst du diese Taktik an?
Aura.
Aura, okay, wunderbar. Herzlichen Applaus, ja?
Nix, the sweet talker. Yeah, he trash talked me the day before. He trash talks everyone. But I'm gonna show him what's up. Fat Lip and Cho, the good old stone. In the pre-game talk, he told us all that he's gonna use the good old stone always. Just to use it, not at all. Real Sadie, the wellness. He was quite relaxing and he tried to use the well. A well-known baby strategy for rock, paper, scissors, because he beats everything. But we talked to him and he was just in general a very chill guy. Potato, the gambler. She talked in the pre-game discussion that everything was just luck at RPS. Grizdog, the patience. I just couldn't read his thoughts. I didn't know what he was thinking, what he's gonna pick. And then, just a few minutes before going on stage, my first opponent showed up. Mo, the Invisible. I was scared of him because he didn't talk, I didn't know what's going on, and he was basically a ghost. just showed up a minute before the game. I didn't know what to play. We walked on stage and the pressure was on. First to play, Real Sebi versus Grisdog.
Ja, Handshake. So, jetzt alle gemeinsam. Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
First point goes to Real Sebi.
Match points. Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
And he defeats Grisdog with a clean 2-0, setting him up for semi-finals. Next up, the good old Stone, Fat Lip Joe against my friend, Hopper. And with a clean scissor, Hopper takes the lead.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Ooh, the first draw in top 8.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
And with a change of tactic, the Stone wins against the Scissor. Hopper goes on to the semi-finals. While I was patiently waiting for my turn, Nix and Potato were battling it out on the stage. And it was a sequence. Look at that.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los! Und Schere, Stein, Papier, los! Und Schere, Stein, Papier, los! Entschieden. Und Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Oh,
1-1.
Match points.
Und Schere, Stein, Papier, los! Und damit nix!
And finally, the moment I've been dreading for, the moment I've been waiting for, I have to play against Mo, the ghost, the guy who showed up a minute before the show so I couldn't read his thoughts and didn't know what he's gonna pick. But I kept my composure, and this was the game.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
And my strategy is still working. Stone takes the first life.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
I kept my composure, trusted in the Stone, and defeated his scissors for the second time, putting me into semi-finals against Nix. But now we get into the real fights. No more unexperienced players, only real veterans of the game. That means no more best of 3s, but only best of 5s. And we begin with the first semi-final. The Real Sebi versus Hopper. Let's begin.
Den Einzug ins große Finale. Alle gemeinsam. Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
And Hopper starts with a strong rock, defeating Real Sebi's scissor.
1-0 Happel. Zweites Game. Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Sebi defeats Hopper's approach and counters with paper.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
And Hopper snips away from Real Sebi's paper to get himself the first match point.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los! Und Happel gewinnt!
Wunderbar!
And with this victory, Hopper actually joins the grand final as the first contestant. But then there was still me. And I had to face off against my nemesis. The guy who trash talked me the day before. The guy I am playing right now. Nix. It's time to play.
Bitte ich euch, eure Hände nach vorne. Und wie immer braucht ihr noch eure Unterstützung. Wir machen Schere, Stein, Papier, los! 1-0. Nächste Runde. Und Schere, Stein, Papier, los! 1-1.
Ja, voll im Soll, voll im Soll.
Und Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
You see, the footage speaks for itself. No fancy edits. I just destroyed his ass. But jokes aside, it was super fun to meet him again. And that we even got to play on this stage together in semifinals is just an awesome moment. GG's, Nix. And finally, after countless matches, after 3 days of Vulcan LAN and an awesome experience, I am in grand finals against my best friend on stage here in the Rock-Paper-Scissor tournament. We walked out very awkwardly and played our game.
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Oh!
Seien wir uns ehrlich, das war klar. So, zweite Runde, gleich nochmal. Schere, Stein, Papier, los! 1-0 Happel.
Eiskalt. Liebes Publikum, Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
We got a game. 1:1. Alle gemeinsam. Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Schere, Stein, Papier, los!
Zweiter Matchpoint Happel. Atlas, nervös? No. Solltest aber sein. So. Schere, Stein, Papier, los! Happel wins!
Yeah, in the end I got second, but I still had an awesome time playing on the Vulcan LAN, getting into top 8, meeting Nix in semifinals and finally ending the tournament with Thomas on the other side. If it's video games, I can only recommend you to join events like this. It made my whole career only meeting people with the same interests on those events and having a blast doing what we love. For me, it's competing in serious or unserious competitions. So if you like my content, subscribe down below, like the video, or check out my stream. Bye bye.